The impact of this legislation on jobs, workers, and Ohio families is at the heart of my concerns with this legislation. Again, it seems to me that we're failing to harmonize our environment, energy, economic, and national security interests. The bill will cost my state of Ohio and the country jobs is without dispute. Despite wild claims of green job creation, there's no credible analysis that suggests that this bill will be a net job creator. In fact, this legislation includes a form of unemployment insurance for those who will lose their jobs because of its implementation. It's very disturbing that this is included in what proponents call a jobs bill. Ohio has already lost enough jobs, and some of it is because we've switched from coal to natural gas. The job losses also will stem from the bill's onerous mandates and requirements. Further, the Senate Energy Committee passed a bill containing mandatory renewable electricity standard, or RES, and the majority leader has indicated that he's going to merge that with this bill. This creates a system of overlapping and redundant requirements that will inhibit the cost-effective emission reductions and will drive energy prices up. Indeed, the theory under cap and trade is that we set a cap and allow companies to comply with the most efficient means possible. Not so with this bill. The other things that I'd like to mention is that there's provisions in here for what we call a border tax or border adjustment. We have researched this thoroughly, and those provisions violate the WTO. What we're really going to need, Madam Chairman, is an international agreement that would deal with those countries that fail to comply with the new standards that the countries will set, very much like we had with nuclear proliferation or arms reduction. And so much of what we should be doing here is going to be reflected upon what comes out of Copenhagen in December. And that's why I think it's really important that we understand for us to unilaterally pass this legislation without airing some of the major problems that we have. For example, whether we're going to use the year 1990 or the year 2005 to determine what our caps are going to be is something that needs to be discussed. We also need to deal with allowances and whether they're going to be paid for or not paid for. Senator Alexander mentioned France. France wants no allowances, no free allowances. They want the allowances to be paid for. Germany, on the other hand, has said we have to have allowances so we can protect steel in our manufacturing. So these things are going to have to be worked out on the international level if we expect to make some sense out of our efforts to reduce greenhouse gases, not only in this country but in the world.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Whitehouse.
Madam Chair, I'll waive my opening statement. I stand by yesterday's opening statement.
Which was so